everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today's makeup video is an everyday work makeup, but I want to do some time saving tips as well. I just want to show you how to really quickly and effectively get your makeup done and get out the door. I don't like spending too much time on my makeup in the morning, especially for every day and especially if I'm going to work. So if you're like me and enjoy this extra few minutes in bed and just want to get your makeup done really quick in the morning, then this is my routine. So my first time saving tip for your work makeup or your everyday makeup is have all of your products out and ready to go. So before you even start, get all your makeup products out, and then that way you're not panicking halfway through your routine, digging in your drawers and trying to find out products. Just before you sit down, have a plan of what you're doing, get everything out so it's right in front of you, so all you've got to do is just pick up and grab what you're going to be using. So I'm going to start with my skincare first because I haven't got a lot of skin prep on at the moment. This is the Prep and Perfect Vitamin Enrich Moisturising Primer from Primark. This is one of my all-time favourite. I always like to do my skincare the first thing that I put on my face before I start anything else. That way it's got a little bit of time to soak in. You could either do your eyes next or I'm going to do your brows. That way we're not just putting our moisturiser on and just letting it sit there. We can be doing another job to save time while this soaks in. Okay, when you're planning your work makeup or your everyday makeup, whatever this is going to be, pick one or two areas that you want to focus on more because we haven't got time to do and sit and plan a whole full face. So pick one or two areas which you want to focus more time on, and then the other areas we can sacrifice time. So for me it's going to be my base and my brows because I feel more confident and more put together if they are done nicely. I'm not too bothered about my eyes. I'd rather have my base and my brows done rather than like a full eye makeup, but you can switch it up whatever you're more comfortable with. So I'm going to start with my brows first. I use the NYX brow pencil. I don't usually pencil my brows in, but they are honestly in a bit of a state at the moment, so I would feel a bit better if they were kind of in some shape, kind of filled in. Usually I would just go through them with like a little bit of soap or brow wax or something, or brow gel. I am going to do them this weekend, so I'm just going to fill them in a little bit first. Another thing really is try not to rush when you're doing your everyday base, because I feel like when you're rushing you make more mistakes and then you spend more time fixing your mistakes. But if you calmed down and went slowly and just did your everyday makeup just bit by bit and took your time with it, you tend to make less mistakes. So even if you are in a rush, take your time, and that way hopefully you won't make any mistakes. Your makeup will go on flawlessly first time, it will look amazing, and it will put you in a really good mood for the rest of the day. Okay, I feel like that has helped a lot today and just gave them a little bit more shape. And then I'm going to set them in place with the Wonder Freeze from Rimmel. This is just a clear brow gel, so we're going to pop this on as well. This makeup look I definitely think you could do in like a 10 to 15 minutes, and you could also build on this as well. So if you were going out after work, this is really easy canvas if you wanted to build on it. It's beer garden season coming up soon in the UK, so I know a lot of people will be going out after work. So this is also going to be an easy look to build on as well. I'm going to get straight onto my base today because I'm not too fussed about the eyes, so I can do them last and they will only take 2 seconds. So I'm going to start with my foundation. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This is my favourite everyday foundation. I absolutely love it. I'm using a brush to apply it because I feel like I can be quicker that way. Find a brush a lot quicker than a sponge for everyday makeup because I can just get it on, get out the door. You can use your fingers, whatever you find is quickest and easiest to apply your base makeup, use that, because there is no right or wrong way when it comes to makeup how you apply it. It's whatever you find easiest for you and whatever you find makes your makeup last the longest. I'm going to do 2 layers of this just so I can build it up a little bit, run a little bit over my eyelids as well. Again, I can get away with a little bit more time on the skin because I'm not doing anything with the eyes, and we still want our makeup to last as well. We don't want to just shove it on and then hope that it lasts throughout the day. If we're not buffing it into the skin, it's not going to last. So make sure you're still taking time to buff your products in and blend your products in, because you still want it to last for the full day too. Okay, so that's built up to a nice sort of medium coverage on me. Really nice and glowy. I absolutely love this foundation. And now we can move on to concealer. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to use light medium sand to start with. And I think this might be a pretty similar colour to my foundation. I do like a bright under eye, but I don't like going too bright if it's just for every day. But I still want to conceal all of my dark areas. I always prefer a sponge for my under eyes though, so I'm just going to press this in with a sponge. I just find I can blend a bit easier with a sponge for my under eye rather than a brush. And I can keep the coverage, nice full coverage as well. But again, whatever you find easier and quicker. I'm going to use a tiny bit of light sand just in my very inner corners just to brighten slightly. Again, not too much, but just enough that's going to make me look nice and awake, especially if I'm at an early morning for work. I like to look alive even when I'm not feeling it. So that's my foundation and concealer done. The main area where I save time doing my base makeup is not using a cream bronzer or a cream blush. Now if I'm going out, I always use cream bronzer / contour and blush, but I can get the same effect with a powder, especially if it's for everyday where I'm going a little bit lighter, so I can save a lot of time by not using my cream bronzer, blending that out, applying blush, cream blush and blending that out. It saves so much time, so I'm just going to go straight in and set my whole base. Another way that I save time in setting is using a compact powder rather than a loose powder. Obviously if you're a bit more oily you can switch to a loose powder, but for a compact I like to use these and then I can take this in my bag and then touch up with this during the day. It's already out, I've already used it, and I know that I can just shove it straight in my bag and I can top up with this during the day. I'm going to use my powder puff because again I can just put this in my bag with it as well. And I'm going to set the areas which I know I tend to get a little bit shiny, which is mainly only down the centre. This saves a little bit more time than using a loose powder because you haven't got to empty it out, you haven't got to bake or anything like that, haven't really got to blend. You can just press this in and then I can shove this straight into my handbag and take this with me. I'm going to set my eyelids as well just so they're not too shiny. I don't know whether I actually said what I was using, but I've used the Rimmel pressed powder in Peach Glow. It has got a tiny little bit of like coverage to it. It's one of my favourite pressed powders and I always have this in my handbag with me as well. Now I only need to finish my skin with my bronzer and my blush. So I'm using the Beached bronzer from Urban Decay. And we can still get a nice bronzed look even though we've not used a cream bronzer or a cream blush. We can still get that same effect. So for me, because I like my skin to still look more like full coverage, but I also want to get ready really quick as well, just missing out those two steps saves me so much time. Okay, so let's move on to blush and add a little pop of colour. I'm using the Hot Cheeks Velour Blush Lighter from Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade Juicy Peach. And I like this as well because it's got a kind of glow to it, which is so pretty. I'm just going to use the same brush. But I do like a nice glow to the skin. And instead of wearing a highlighter as well, I can just wear my blush. And it does give that really nice glow. I don't know if that's picking up. It's so pretty. So that's also a step now which I don't have to do. I don't have to wear highlighter because this is kind of like a 2-in-1. Okay, so that's my base makeup pretty much done. Let's move on to eyes. So for eyes, they are what I spend less time on so I can do more time on my base makeup. So for my eyes, all I'm going to use is my bronzer. This is such a really quick and easy hack. Even if you like a bit more eye makeup, you can also add in your blush as well. Do your bronzer and your blusher on your eyes instead of faffing around with eyeshadow and getting your palettes out and all that jazz. I'm going to go straight in with my bronzer. I would get away with just wearing no eye makeup, but because I am a bit more bronzed, I do feel like it wouldn't look very cohesive if I had absolutely nothing on my eyes. So just a bit of bronzer just makes me look a little bit more sort of put together. I put it literally all over my eyelid, into my crease, and then just out at the edges a little bit. If you wanted to spend more time on your eyes, you can do your eye makeup and then just spend less time on your base makeup, whichever is quickest for you. I always find I spend longer on my eye makeup if I'm doing a proper eye look, so that is why I don't tend to do as much on my eyes. Tend to make more mistakes on my eyes as well rather than my base, so if I don't do eyes that much, then I know I'm not going to make a mistake, hopefully, and then I am overall quicker with my makeup. I do like to curl them because mine grow so straight, but if I curl them and then add mascara, they do hold the curl and they do make my eyes look a little bit more open and awake, which is what I like for every day. Okay, then for mascara, I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex one. I'm using a brown one today. I like to wear brown like for every day or if I'm going to work because it still emphasises my lashes, but because I'm not wearing that much eye makeup, I just feel like it goes really nice if I've just got bronzer on my eyes. And this mascara just makes such a huge difference. Like, look at the before and after. It just makes my eyes look so much more open and awake if I've got mascara on. I'm going to do a tiny bit on the bottom, literally just a little flick of mascara on there just so I don't feel too left out. Okay, so we're pretty much done with our work makeup. All we need to do is lips. Now for me, I find saving a bit more time with lips, I only do lip liner and nothing else, and sometimes I do like a gloss on the top. I find if I do a lip liner all over, that lasts me so much longer and it creates like a bit of a stain, rather than doing a lipstick which is gonna wear off eventually anyway. So my favourite one at the moment is the Rimmel Spice lip liner. Yes, Spice. I usually prefer a glossy finish anyway as well, so for me adding a lipstick on top is just an unnecessary step. I know it doesn't take that long to apply it, but if there's no point, then there's no point. Okay, so that is my lip colour, and I just feel like just a liner on its own lasts so much longer, and then later if I do feel like my lips are getting a little bit dry, I can just put a lip balm on or a clear gloss, and I haven't even got to look in the mirror to apply that. Okay guys, so that is my completed look of my everyday work makeup and my time saving tips as well, so we can get it done and get out the door. I still feel really glam even though I've not used that many products, and it just makes me feel a bit more fresh, put together. I feel like my skin looks really nice and I would be happy to go the whole day with this makeup. I think it looks really nice and it makes me feel a little bit more confident as well. So I really hope you did enjoy today's video. Let me know down in the comments what your everyday like makeup favourites are that you've always got in your handbag. And yeah, give it a big thumbs up if you did like it. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!